No ticket to the playoffs.
No ticket to the playoffs, Justin. They really did have a rough weekend against a very, very good Notre Dame team, and I think that needs to be said, that this Notre Dame team is one of the best in the nation, the best in the AMC conference. They are a very, very tough team. From hitters about 1 through 8, that 9 spot is shaky. Saw that all weekend long. I believe in the first game she went 1 for about 3 with 2 Ks in that 9 spot of Notre Dame, but they have very, very solid pitching. As you saw, your leadoff hitter is the one who had that grand slam, and she knew it right away. She let out this huge moan that just was like, I was looking down at the scoreboard,
it was more like
looked up, and I couldn't even find the ball anymore.
It was more like a Tim Taylor grunt, really.
It was a grunt. She knew right away, right off contact, that ball was out of there.
Josh, you and I talked before that game. What did Notre Dame have to play for? And I asked you, if Point Park does not get in the playoffs, basically if they lose both those games, which they did, is it a collapse on what was a very good season, a very promising season, and all of a sudden they get shut out on the doorstep?
Well, the losses to Notre Dame does not make the season a collapse. There's losses earlier on in the season that makes it sort of a collapse. A loss to Cedarville, a team that they should have beat, which would have put them most likely in the playoffs.
True.
And that, put a whole mindset on that team that there was losses. One to Walsh, who is in that 5th spot, who is the last team that's going to the playoffs, a game that they should have won. That's what happens to this team. They had little mental errors, and you saw every time on that scoreboard, I think, except for once or twice off that grand slam. Anytime you saw a new score, you saw an E up there in that category. Almost all of those runs resulted somewhat in the area of an error.
Yeah.
Saw Heigl had one with the pitcher. Pasenka had one thrown it to first. Brodegum had one at third. There was just a ton of errors, and that's one thing that this team's going to have to learn of, is to not commit those mental mistakes, because they are a very, very solid bunch of girls. They know how to hit the ball, and they know how to pitch as well. You have a very core group of young pitchers that are going to be here for a long time to come.
Twofold question to you, playing off what you just said. Is there anything that they need to do in terms of personnel they need to do or gain to be a more complete team to ensure they don't get shut out? And in that answer, you're talking about how many good hitters there are. Obviously, Abby Heigl and Kristen Zelenka, the 2 dominant pitchers for them, both of those who pitched against Notre Dame. Do you think they got worked a little bit too much? Do they need some more starting pitching help to give those girls a rest?
Well, they have 3, so that's not too bad, Justin. But one of the biggest things is they don't have a solid girl that's batting 3rd or 4th in a lineup that's really going to kill the ball. They had Pasenka bat 3rd or 4th in the lineup in Game 2. They had Zelenka bat 3rd in the lineup. That's your pitcher. That's saying one of your best bats is usually out there in the mound, and she doesn't play in Game 2 either. So if she's batting 3rd, that's for a reason, and not to use her in Game 2. That has me wonder a little bit. Schroeder, who's the catcher, Kane, they both have bats, but nothing consistently that you can see that really drives in runs on a very consistent basis. I think that's one of the things that they need to get out and get, is that big power bat in the middle of a lineup. They have the leadoff people. They have those kids that can bat 6th, 7th in the lineup. They just need a big, big stick, Justin.
Big stick is Josh Furketik's answer. We will find out, I guess, next year. You'll find out firsthand if that is what happens. And